You ever been called magnificent?
No, not yet.
Well, good. At least we got that going.
We're just gonna go ahead and set the brakes on this one. Look at the school of fish right going through there.
He's good fish. I'll screw this up.
Don't screw this up, Greg.
My buddy Greg Gutierrez.
Damn straight, good day. That's probably the longest tree pounder we got in the boat so far.
We're counting all the branch bass. Not all that branch. All of them. Hey, what's up, guys? Nick the Informative Fisherman here, and today we're out on Lake Shasta with my buddy, the legendary West Coast superstar.
Yeah, whatever.
Magnificent Greg Gutierrez.
Whatever.
You ever been called magnificent?
No, not yet.
Well, good. At least we got that going. Now, Greg, he lives up here out of Redding, right?
Yeah, I actually live out of Red Bluff, so it's 30 minutes away.
Red Bluff, okay. So would you consider this your home lake?
This is my home lake.
So pressure's on Greg. That works out. Me, I've never even bass fished Shasta. You know that? This is my first time bass fishing Shasta.
Oh, there's no fish up here.
Okay, perfect. So now if we catch one, we're winning. This is huge. It'll be a discovery that there is bass in Lake Shasta.
Exactly.
So we're going to give you an overall Lake Shasta, pick Greg's brain about if you're new coming out to this fishery, what it's all about, what type of things you want to target, and teach you a little bit about Greg along the way. I've been seeing ever since I got into bass fishing as a young kid, I was always seeing Greg's name here, Greg's name there, and then I started going out to Ultimate Bass, got to meet Greg and see how good of a guy he is, and appreciate you taking us out here, brother. I'm excited, man.
I just love giving guys an opportunity. It's an awesome lake to come up and fish. I mean, especially if you're bringing a family up, you want to come up for, a few days a week. And sometimes you can come up here and catch 100 fish a day, and sometimes you come up here and catch your 5 or 10 and count yourself lucky.
I'm good with 10. I'm good with 10.
Count yourself lucky.
All right, perfect. Well, let's get out there and see what we can make happen, brother.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. There's a couple peacock bass in here because of the warmer climate in this lake.
You know what that is, Nick?
What's that?
That's Indian lobstone. Just another rock. Little guy? Oh, he's a ginormous.
Oh. What is that?
Oh, that's a monster.
Yep. Shatter biting the Ned Rick.
Yep.
Oh, shatter on that shaky head. Shatter on the nail right now.
It's on the nail. There's a giant.
That shad chomped that thing.
No wonder why I didn't feel him.
It's almost like a bass, but smaller.
Only smaller. Uh-oh. Oh. Is this the one?
No. Oh!
Oh!
All right, first 3-pounder of the day.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Well, they always look smaller when they're next to you, right?
Yeah. So me being 6'6", I have a tendency of shrinking fish. This one right here is clearly pushing 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
He's close, give or take 2 3/4 pounds.
Oh my God! Oh, that's smaller. That one is.
Yeah, I think you took it. Now, Greg, for a person just coming out to Shasta bass fishing, what should they really keep in mind, and what's 2 baits they should have tight on if they're just coming out to catch some fish?
Honestly, Shasta's simple. You're fishing primarily for spots. Target the spots. Think about the spots where they're running bait. So if you got graphs on your rig, you're looking for bait, and you're looking for the fish in the water column. If you can see them up and down, moving up and down, they're active, they're feeding. If you can't really see those fish that well and they're humped up on the bottom, then you're gonna keep your down baits. Go ahead and try your spinner baits and your jerk baits and stuff like that, but always when you come here, have a jig and a nail, a frenzy baits nail on a rod. I promise you, one of those 2 baits is gonna catch them. I do, yeah. Oh, he's a giant.
I think that's the closest one to 12 inches so far.
Oh,
Big fish.
That's all 12 and a half.
Yeah.
See what happened? He
Big fish.
ate my tails off.
You did. You bit the tail off and came back and got it anyways. Glutton for punishment.
The release.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
Oh, there he is, right there.
Look at that.
Now I'm bringing him up. We're just gonna go ahead and set the brakes on this one. Look at the school of fish right going through there. That's a better fish too. Oh, that's the big tanker right there.
13-incher right there.
That's a look at his
kicker.
Loaded up kicker. Look at how many fish are on that graph. My goodness.
What are some of the most popular, easy targets for someone just entering the lake here, just to get on a couple of fish? What should they look for?
What you want to really look for is variations in contour or bottom composition. So we have gravel, we have rocks, boulders, baseball, basketball size. We have red dirt. We have some other kind of clays that are mixed in. But usually what I try and do is I'll look for the difference between gravel on one portion and red dirt, or red dirt and rock, or gravel and boulders. But I'm looking for that seam where the composition changes, and then I target those areas first. Usually if you find some areas that have guts or guts or points that are of a main composition but are surrounded by others, I will target those guts or points that have different compositions around them, and I'll hit those first, then I'll look for the break.
Hang with us, guys. We'll be right back. Absolutely smoked that thing. Look at that spotopotamus, man.
Big one, real big one.
Yeah, God, choked it, dude, choked it. Look at that. Yeah, I want that headbang. Come on. Attention Northern California anglers, have you been to Boat Country in Ripon? With one of the largest selections of aluminum boats in the valley, from North River, Hughescraft, and Crestliner, chances are they have the right boat for you. And they also have a full-on service center to take care of all your maintenance or repair needs. If you're a boat owner or just looking to become one, you owe it to yourself to check these guys out. Visit BoatCountryUSA.com or stop on by. We'll see you there. Bigger, better, badder. The evolution of the buzzbait is upon us. The Evolution Baits Grass Burner is a high-performance bass snatcher machine. High-end components, inline displacement, larger profile, balanced body for fast or slower retrieves, better deflection, and oversized treble hooks. You wouldn't bring a slingshot to a gunfight, would you? Find out more at evolutionbaits.com. Wondering what I'm doing here? That's simple. I'm logging a fish catch into the Fat Sack Outdoors online tournament fishing app, where anyone can win an assortment of prizes from gift cards to hundreds of dollars worth of fishing lures. It doesn't matter if you're a boater or a bank banger, so hurry up and download the app to get started today.
That's a small. Yeah. It's a little mean mouth.
Yeah, little hybrid.
Mean mouth hybrid. Nice. See, it's got all the smally markings, but it's got the spots on it too.
Sure does. The spotter of all spotties.
Let's go throw that in the box.
Yeah. Box that guy.
Box him.
Box him up. What in the world?
He pulled like he was.
He was pulling hard. That's classic spotted bass move.
Yep.
Gotta dodge the long rod.
Dodge the long rod. That's not a bad little fish.
Yeah, this is my light setup. There we go. What do you got there, Nick?
Atta boy.
Sticks finesse stick, working it. Just took a little ball head jig.
Yes.
Since we've seen a lot of suspended fish right here, just using a little ball head jig, and I took a 4-inch shad colored zoom trick worm. I just threaded it up that. Real subtle, natural presentation. I mean, you could just look there, just look like a little shad nosing along the bottom, just using that little ball head to just roll and look natural. Just dragging it, really not doing anything special.
Yeah, no, actually it's not a bad sized fish. It's just, they're just not what I've been catching up here. You know, same thing, basically the same thing as what you're doing, Nick. I'm using concentrating keeping it on the bottom. I'm using a quarter ounce dart head shape. You know, it's almost ball head, but basically I'm using more of a brim color. You know, with the Reaction Innovations, it's the little flirt worm. Just gives it a lot more action. I don't have to do quite as much. Keeps it on the bottom. Oh, it's another one of those tank tacos. Potato chips.
Potato totters.
Potato chips.
So Greg, how long was it when you first started fishing as a professional in tournaments? When did you really get started?
Ooh, I think my very first Pro-Am tournament that I fished as a pro in the front of the boat, co-angler in the back, was 1996. I had fished other tournaments, boat-on-boat draws, where I was the boater for 2 years ahead of that, but my first boat with a co-angler experience was 1996.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Got a juicer? Spitting up shad. There we go. There's a box level.
He's long and skinny. but barely. You see how they're catching them right there on the nose like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just slurping on that tail. You got to give them enough time to get it in there.
Hey Greg, you have a fizzy needle on board?
I do.
Okay.
It's right in my glove box there.
All right, guys. I'm asking Greg for the fizzing needle because when you're out fishing deep, a lot of the time, a lot of guys are inexperienced. They catch these fish beyond 40 feet deep, and their air bladder expands, and you have to physically take the air bladder and you decrease the amount of air and allow that bass to get back down. It doesn't kill them. For example, there's a bass floating right here whose air bladder's expanded. This fish will be easily picked off up by a bird. I'll reach down and get it. He could be picked off by an eagle or an osprey. He's gonna come down and grab this bass. So instead, I'm gonna just lip him here, and we're gonna fizz him and give him the best opportunity he can at living a longer life. There we go. Still healthy, probably about 1 pound.
Still looking for the
1.5 pound. You could do, well, I guess, you know,
we got it.
you got the needle?
There's
Okay.
other ways to do it.
Yeah,
but
there is other ways to do it. You can use scissors.
Yeah, scissors. I've heard guys doing scissors. Fish hooks.
Be cautious, I'm gonna hold them.
Okay.
Now you see right here at his nose,
Right.
you line up right at the back of his pec fin. You're gonna go right at the point at the back of his pec fin. Go ahead and get him there, Greg.
Okay, so here's where it goes. This is the thing: is you got to be sure. Now keep in mind that you got a thickness of the fish. You don't want to go all the way through it.
You don't want to stab his
you
vitals.
want it to bleed out. So
Okay.
you get right into the bladder.
Yep, I hear it.
It goes out. You can also assist it a little bit.
Squeeze it down?
Goes out,
Okay.
and then once it's done,
All right, let me see.
Voila.
Let's see if he swims back down. There he goes. Take care, buddy. All right. Kick ass, man.
Hey.
Saved a fish today.
Keep a needle.
Let me get that out.
Them little.
Oh
mix
yeah.
rubbers.
Muley.
Look at that. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Got it on that little jig.
That's a smallmouth spotted bass hybrid.
That is.
Some call them mean mouths, some call them muleys, but they look real pretty. They have the aggression of both species.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. They certainly do. They got that slippery feel rather than, because spots have that rougher feel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No tongue spot.
I feel it on my teeth a lot. When I'm trying to get parasites off and I'm scraping it with my teeth, you can really feel the texture. Like what's the biggest tournaments you've won?
You know, I've won the Bassmaster tournament here on Shasta.
That's awesome.
That was a really cool event. I thought that was an amazing deal. But you know, for the longest time, I'd really struggled with winning an FLW event for whatever reason. But that winning one here last year on Shasta was pretty cool. I did place second in the All-American, which was just a couple of ounces from the win. But you know, had I won that, that would have been the topper. But between that BASS, yeah, between the BASS and the FLW here on Shasta, that would be my that would be the thing that I look at the most as far as what I really love doing. Yeah, this guy popped it and then came back for it. Yep. Nice fish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he come back and then just ate it.
All right.
All right, I gotta do the doctor thing. Grab me them pliers for me real quick, Nick.
Scalpel?
Scalpel.
Forceps?
Forceps. So, trick, when they swallow it like that, you reach through the gills and get a hold of the shank right down by the bend, okay? Everybody else wants to yank on these things, but you don't. You take that thing, you slide it down as far down as you can, and then roll the hook, and then pull it out from the front, and that helps get it out. A little blood on there, but it doesn't rip anything, it's just a hole.
Little blood never stopped a good soldier.
That's right. They're hooked.
So Greg's throwing that shaky head. That's the nail.
Yep.
That's Greg's setup.
Yep.
And what he did is he put his nose down to smell that fish's breath.
Yeah, they're eating the nail.
Because when they eat the nail, the breath smells really, really sweet.
Tinny.
Because they're always eating the nail.
That's right.
Frenzy baits.
That's the bait right there, man. These fish up here love it.
God, they want it deadly slow.
Just excruciating.
This is bad. Like, I see how slow you're working that, and it's killing
Oh,
me.
it's killing me. That's
Oh.
a nice fish. That's our biggest
Oh,
fish,
yeah.
of course.
Yep.
You gotta
Yep.
tease them into it.
Yep.
Oop,
Yep.
whacking you in the head. Right through the forehead, though.
Right through the forehead.
Nailed it.
Now, if you couldn't be out bass fishing, what's like your other favorite thing to do?
No, I'd be designing baits. I'd be back at the house.
Oh heck, that's the same as bass
It's
fishing.
not. I'd be back in there and I'd be tweaking on little baits and designing them, and I wouldn't be bass fishing, but I'd be casting. But you know, I don't know. I love bird hunting. I like hunting. I really do. I just gave up hunting for fishing, for bass fishing. I gave up steelhead fishing and salmon fishing, crappie fishing, and you name it. If it was swimming in the water, I was fishing, striper fishing. But you know, bass fishing is, gosh, it's that competition and the draw. So you know, I'd probably go back to hunting if that was the case.
Hang with us, guys. We'll be right back. Hey guys, did you know that yours truly is now hosting Lucky Tackle Box's monthly panfish instructionals? And aside from relentless fish catching, I'll be breaking down the rigging and the gear you need to get going along the way. And of course, a few extra tips to help you score more fish on the goodies included in your box. So remember, the tug is our drug. So go visit LuckyTackleBox.com and get signed up today. Ever tried pulling a planer board next to your boat when trolling or fishing from a swift current bank? If not, you're missing out on one of the most phenomenal fish catching machines on the market today. With Yellowbird planer boards pulling your lines perpendicular to your boat, you can't help but catch more fish. Find out more by visiting www.yellowbirdproducts.com. Did you know that P-Line makes specialized lines for all your fishing needs, from the super strong abrasive resistant CXX or the low stretch super stealthy CX Premium? Or maybe you're looking for invisibility or super bite detection with P-Line's 100% fluorocarbon. No matter what your needs, P-Line's got it covered. To find out more, visit P-Line.com.
P-Line, baby.
Hey guys, Nick the Informative Fisherman here, and when it comes to my hooks, I demand superior craftsmanship, innovative design, and proven success. And that's why I've chose to partner with Mustad Fishing Hooks. With over 180 years in the business, you can't go wrong. So if you don't want to risk losing a big one, I suggest you do the right thing. Look like a smallmouth. He ain't a donkey, but he's pretty. Woo!
That's a mean mouth.
Let me check him. Let me check that tongue. Smooth. We got a smooth tongue. Let me check the dorsal fin.
Check the dorsal.
Smallmouth. Doesn't touch.
Yep.
No specks. No, he is a mean mouth. There's the pattern from the spotted bass. Dang it. Yeah. There we go, guys. Another little muley. And we're basically, the name of the game today is finesse fishing.
Survive.
All the way, survive. It's just, yeah, really, really tough. So we're dragging little stuff as slow as we can, dragging shaky heads, dragging little ball heads, finesse jigs. I did hook one on a jerkbait that I lost, but another small fish. One on a lipless crankbait, another small fish. But a lot of that stuff works really good here. It's just today's one of those days that the fish just don't want to participate. Like Greg said, they lowered the water a lot.
They dropped the water here, plus the strong north wind coming in.
Yeah.
And we got a pressure front change.
When you have a lot of wind coming out of the north, it's generally colder, especially in Northern California, and which could definitely shut off your fish. Also, when they pull water means they're letting water out of the lake, so the lake's dropping. That also pressures the fish into changing location and shutting down at times. But we'll see how we do tomorrow. We still got another day at this.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
Decent,
one.
yeah.
Good spot. Ooh.
Yeah, he is. Horsing me. He's horsing me.
There's a
Double?
There's a double. Oh, that's a good one.
Got the double.
It's the double.
Dang!
Oh, it's a good one too.
I'm not sure if I should flip them, but I'm gonna anyways.
I'm flipping mine. Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
It
they're
is a good one.
both
They're both studs.
All right.
Yeah! Yeah!
And twins.
Oh,
Look at-
twinsies! Here, Greg, let's post together. Hold on.
Okay.
This guy's a swim bait guy. This guy's a frog guy. If you were gonna categorize yourself as a particular bait guy, if I said Greg Gutierrez is a blank guy, what do you think you would categorize yourself as?
Oh, I would have to say I'm a versatile guy. I took second in the All-American throwing a frog before the frog was out there. I took a third place in the Bassmaster Elites throwing a swim bait. I won a tournament on Shasta for Bassmaster throwing a jig, a swivel head jig before there was any other swivel head jig.
So being a renaissance man of bass fishing.
I do it all. I love flipping. I mean, usually if I get into a flipping situation, I'll have 5 rods on the deck and they'll all be flipping stick. But everybody, yeah, flipping out. Everybody thinks I'm a finesse fisherman, and I do that really well. I got to tell you, I do it really well.
All right, guys, out for day 2. We just pulled out of Packers Bay. Greg put the first fish in the boat.
That's right.
Still being a little bit weird this morning, but
they are being finicky, aren't they?
Yeah, they are being finicky, but we got our clues yesterday. Today we're going to deal with 20 plus mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, that's why we went up north, was to try and get away from these winds.
Yep, we're trying to find some protected area now, but we got better clues. We know we're going to have to target them slower. We got a couple more hours today. We only had 4 hours yesterday. We got a full 6 in today to try to make something happen. We're going to put it together, try to catch them on a few different baits for you guys, and
absolutely
give you some more details. Decent fish.
Decent fish, yeah.
Nice, we can box him.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We idled through this little flat area. It's a large pocket, but we're looking for, you know, different characteristics within the area. So what I did is I came through here and I followed this little channel where the erosion comes through. It makes a little cut and it breaks off down below. And the fish are staging right on the edges. Now what we did when we came in is the place is loaded with bait. So these fish are going to obviously look for ambush points. That's the big deal. They're looking for ambush points. Anywhere they can sit on the edge of something where the bait will come through, they can target it. So if we can get it out, get the bait over and then bring it over top of one of those breaks, that's how it's going to happen. And then it just had one sucking on the tail there. But that's where we're that's where we're finding fish right now. Is we're looking for these little areas like that. As we scan through, I'll run through with the Lowrance, and once I pick them up, we just can zoom in, look at them real quick, and then find out where the fish are located, the key spot on the structure, lay a waypoint down, turn around, and fish them. It's the best way to do it right now, especially with this wind.
He's got some shoulders, head and shoulders.
Yeah, he thinks he's a stud. Here he comes. Oh yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, look at the gut on that fish.
Fat.
Holy smokes, that looks like me. Looks just like me.
Barbecue chips, Cheetos on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
Gobies.
Yeah, he's eating that bait right there.
Yeah.
You can smell it. You want to smell it?
Hey, let me see.
Someone's giving me a call, making me jingle. Ooh, ooh, he says. I'll put a little on this one. This guy's starting to feel a little heavier.
His head's shaking.
I know he's
His head's shaking.
Look at the rod, it's wiggling. The rod is wiggling. Got a little bit of wind here. Oh, look, itty bitty little guy. Oh, right through the beak, though.
Yeah.
Right through the beak. Ah, he's just pulling hard like he's a big dog.
He's the best one, though.
Best one, yeah. Took a little drag.
One yet.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah, that's more like it. Something with a little bit of shoulders on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. Right through the forehead again.
Through the schnauzer, huh?
Yep, through the schnauzer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Healthier there.
Nice fish right there.
I cried mercy, and I'm tying on a nail now. This a 1/4 ounce, Greg?
1/4 ounce, yeah.
We're throwing the 1/4 ounce here because it's just crazy windy outside. We're in a protected cove, and we're probably still dealing with 12, 15 mile an hour. Main lake, 20, 22 mile an hour wind. And we're fishing deep, so really it's about bottom contact on the spinning rod, throwing lighter line, thinner diameter, because these fish are consistently down in 20 to 30 feet deep of water. And tried finessing other ways, but the direct bottom contact with that small brown worm, a trick worm, or any small brown finesse worm seems to be the deal right now, that's for sure.
little guy.
Faked it. He faked it.
Oh,
He's a decent fish.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but right
But
through
he faked that fight all the way.
right through the beak, man. It's just crazy.
There we go.
It's gonna get on the board.
There we go. Hopefully.
Working the nail.
Switched over to the nail. And now it's paying.
Yeah, that's a decent fish. Oh yeah, baby.
There we go. Yeah. Had to switch over to Greg's creation.
That's right.
Use that nail. Stick them where it counts. In the mouth.
Right through the forehead.
My third bite, my first two, on for a second, right off. But the nail, got it done.
Yeah.
It is just deadly slow. You know, normally you don't have to fish as slow as we are, but this is one of those situations to where if you're calm enough and you're smart enough and you pay attention to the clues, if you're in a tournament format or there's other guys out there, you can clearly beat them. You just have to be smarter and stay calm in the pocket. Rough conditions, tough bite, but
yeah, you gotta
counts.
stay with it.
We're gonna double up camera. This has never been done before.
No,
I'm gonna go slow motion with the cell, and we're gonna try to capture all of these moments.
oh, put the pressure on me now. Put
Greg,
the pressure.
don't screw this up.
Don't screw this up, Greg. Oh, we're looking at the leader so close.
He's so close.
I can see color.
Tuna.
Color.
That's a bluefin. He's a flipper. Oh yeah.
Look at the gut on that one.
Chunk roost.
That is truly my twin.
Yep.
Look at that fish. Bam. Right through the beak, man.
Woo!
Right through the beak.
On
nice one. Got him on the nail.
On the nail.
Got the nail on that.
Once again, when it's deadly slow and you can't catch him, pull out the freaking nail.
Don't throw this infection color here.
Show him that fish up close. You got big fish of the trip. You got to show it. One thing that you think nobody knows about you.
Oh, I don't know.
Are you an open book?
I'm an open book. Usually I let you know everything about me. I'm an open book. You know, if you don't know anything about me, walk up to me and ask. That's the kind of guy I am. I'll let you know how I feel. I'm a sensitive guy. You know, I cry at the girly movies with my wife and stuff like that. But
just earlier today, we seen a bald eagle and we shared a box of tissues.
That's right. It was one of those times where I really. But anyhow, I'm an open book, man. Just come and ask me.
Look at that, like clockwork, dude. The nail in the nose is an amazing setup. We've been saying it the whole time. These fish are consistently 20 to 40 and bouncing around on different ledges. And what Greg's doing, we're going around these big points and around these bluffs, but we're consistently finding that depth. And if you notice, our lines are leading behind the boat. We're kind of dragging, easing around on the trolling motor, going super slow, making bottom contact the whole time, and just slightly shaking it, working the nail in and around the rocks. But we're staying on that depth zone the whole time. We're not really doing a lot of casting up or dragging down. We're not casting deep and dragging up, though we have done some of that. But really the most consistent way is to stay in that zone where we've been consistently seeing the fish.
For sure, higher percentage.
The higher percentage zone, because it's insanely tough. And we're just dragging along that depth and following these contours the whole way, which is basically just ease up, drag it a little bit, ease up, drag it a little bit, but staying down there the whole time. And even on a really tough bite, it is effectively working quite well. And this is something I don't really do often. You know, I don't drag behind the boat often and follow these contours, but clearly this is something that Greg's got a ton of confidence in, and he's whooping my butt.
They just grabbed the tail and pulled that off.
Skirted.
Yeah, he did. Skirted me.
Pulled his pants down.
Biggest thing is I get it back there a little bit. I'll get that thing back there where I want to be on the break off, and you know, as you look at the boat, the way it's laid out, the wind is. I've got 25 in the front, 27 in the front, and 35 in the back. So I'm looking for that middle line where I know that break is, and then I'm pitching it back there to get on that break, and then I'm just working it. So my casts a lot of times are not really long, and then I'm just moving it a little bit faster than what my boat is. That way I'm keeping a little bit of tension.
You keep the bow out, because we're facing the wind. So you could see that that's keeping the bow pretty much out of our line. What Greg is saying, not to go too slow because the wind will start to take over your line. He's going just fast enough to where he's not picking his bait up off the bottom, but he's maintaining line tension to really notice these little subtle bites. These fish aren't grabbing and going. These fish are peg, hold it down. If you don't time that hook set, you're not going to catch any of these. None of them have been smash and grabs.
No, it's been subtle, very subtle.
Greg, is that a dandy?
It's a Dan. I don't know if it's a dandy, but it's a good fish.
It's a Dan?
It's a
Look at that. Oh, Uncle Larry!
Uncle Larry!
Oh my goodness!
That's the the biggest one.
Mustache and all. Look at that, right there.
Look at that.
Getting ready to wrap it up, and then Greg goes and does that.
right through the beak.
I noticed you changed worms there, Greg.
No, it's the same infection. Little infection. Huh? It's just chewing them up. Chewing them up. All right. Beautiful thing.
All right, guys, so we're wrapping up our day. Greg's saying a pretty darn good bag this time of year is about 10 pounds. You think 10 pounds would cut a check?
10 pounds right now is going to put you in a position to really, you'll be okay. You know what I mean? You're going to be all right in check range.
In check range, okay.
Yeah, you'll be in check range, you know.
So we're going to weigh to see what we have. It's definitely been extremely tough, but we're going to see what our best 5 go. We'll find out. 2, 3, 4, and
5.
Lucky number 5. Here we go.
10-16.
10-16. Not sure if you guys can see that.
10-16.
10-16 locked in.
Yeah, I knew it was bigger than 8 pounds.
Yep. So even though we had a tough day,
yeah,
I mean, I got to contribute 1 fish towards this bag.
Thank you, I appreciate
and
that.
I felt like my 1 fish really took it over the top, Greg. Let's just be completely honest. We probably would have had 5 pounds if it wasn't for that 1 kicker I stuck in there that blended in with everybody else.
yeah, exactly. Nice one. Nice one.
There we go, guys. Out here on beautiful Shasta Lake with my buddy Greg Gutierrez.
Damn straight. Good day.
Hopefully you guys learned some information here, and if you ever run into this guy, go pick his brain. Greg's a hell of a nice dude, and if you've never tried the frenzy nail, go pick some up and try it out. Greg's a heck of an innovator over here. He knows how to get it done under the roughest conditions, and his products are the ones really kind of aiding me in my brutalness along the way of these tough days.
Yep.
2 fish, I'll take it, man. But 2 fish on the nail. Thanks for watching, guys. InformativeFisherman.com, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Appreciate it.
Hey, just want to kind of share with you some of the fizzing techniques. We caught some of these fish kind of deep, so you're noticing the guts are kind of big. But let me show you how I do it. Okay, you go from the anal vent to the beginning of the fin right here. Just basically take a line. You find the lateral line here, and you go 2 scales down. Just kind of slide it up underneath. Don't run it through a scale, and kind of an angle and a 45 in, and you just push it in, until you hit the bladder. It bleeds out. You can hear it bleed out. Stomach goes in. I just assist it in, pull the belly out, and now it's bled out. It'll go back down, and it'll survive.
Depressurize. If you don't do that, guys, a lot of time they're going to float on the surface. You know, a hawk or osprey or eagle is going to come up and take that fish. If you want to feed them, hey, so be it. But this is a really good way to release those trophies you've been fishing for all day and get them back down to the depths that they need to be, and they'll heal up just fine from that.
Yeah, you can get these anywhere at your local tackle shops. Up here on Shasta Lake, you can get them at Phil's Propeller. They're used to dealing with a lot of them. And who else? Tackle Warehouse. Most of the shops have a fizzing needle. Just take a little bit of time and have one for the boat, because you never know. You know, if you're fishing a tournament, you're going to want to fizz them. You don't want to keep them all day long. You may lose your catch. So check them out.
And also, if things get boring in the boat, it's a great gag gift for popping your buddy in the rope.
It's a sting.